right, I think we are ready to begin. We'll have Coach make an opening statement, and we'll open up for questions. Coach Beamer.
Wow. What a great night to be a Gamecock. And I want to thank our fans, first of all, for the atmosphere and the environment in there. I appreciate the ones that were in there. For those of you that didn't come and missed it, you missed one hell of a game, and you missed an unbelievable performance by our football team, who works their butts off during the week and deserved that tonight because of the way they worked and the way they fight. Because it may have been ugly up until this point, but one thing you can't question is how hard our kids play and the passion they play with week in, week out. So happy for them and the success they had tonight, and really appreciate the fans that were there as well. You created a great environment, unbelievable group of recruits that were here. Just peeked at my phone, so many text messages from recruits that weren't here that wish they had been here. So excited about the future of Carolina football as well. That's a good football team that we just beat. So I hope we don't start with the narrative about Florida and anything. That tonight was about South Carolina, and that is a team with a bunch of really good players. I know they had some guys out tonight, but they had a bunch of really good guys in there that we were competing against, and that's the whole thing. We've talked ever since that A&M game about competing, and we've had the two best weeks of practice that we've had all season coming off that A&M loss. Practices have been spirited, energized, physical, competitive, and we expected to win this football game like we did. Nobody was shocked at how it went. We fully expected this tonight because of the way that we've prepared and practiced the last 2 weeks as well. Just so many competitive plays that guys made. I mean, wow, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, that's been the name of the game for the last 2 weeks, is just compete. And you saw that. I mean, I can go on and on to some of the catches our receivers made, some of the runs our running backs made, the solo tackle Damani Staley made on that fourth down, on and on and on. I mean, it was awesome and fun to see. We know what Florida's about as far as being able to run the football. I told you guys earlier in the week they put 100-plus more yards on Georgia last season than what Georgia had been giving up on average. So this was a team that could run the football. We knew coming into it we had to stop the run. If we got beat with Emory Jones throwing deep balls over our heads for big plays, so be it. But we weren't going to let them beat us running the football. And what a job our defense to hold these guys to 82 yards rushing. That's phenomenal. And then for us to run the ball for 284, what a night. We controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's where it started. And you know, the thing is, we could have been a lot better too. We kicked way too many field goals. Credit Parker White for kicking 4 field goals, but you know, that's 28 points in the red zone that we didn't get because we didn't score touchdowns. We got to do a better job of scoring in the red zone. We had some sloppy drives in the fourth quarter offensively that it's a couple 3-and-outs when we had a chance to finish the game. But what a drive right there at the end. I mean, to take the ball down the field, and we didn't get points out of it, but I mean, we lined up with Trey Jones at fullback and ran the same play, I think, 3 or 4 times in a row. So you want old school north-south football, physical football, there you go. It doesn't get any more old school and more physical than that, than putting your offensive lineman at fullback and playing ball. So we're going to enjoy this one. You know, by no means have we arrived. We're still a work in progress, but we took a great step tonight, and then the key for us is going to be to continue to build on this. We've got a big challenge next week going out to Missouri, and then coming back home for two home games to finish out the season. But what a night for the South Carolina Gamecock Nation, and Clayton White said it on the headphones late in the game. This is why we came to South Carolina. This is my dream job, and nowhere else that I want to be. And this is why these coaches came here, is for nights like this. And we're going to have a bunch of more nights like this going forward. And certainly proud of our kids and the way they played tonight, and so proud to be their coach, and just love coaching them. You know, when we play like we did at Texas A&M. When we come into the building on Sunday, the day after getting back at 4 o'clock in the morning, they're eager to learn from their mistakes, and then they go out on the practice field and they get right back to work to get better. And tomorrow will be the same. So great night. We got to continue to progress and get better, but we're going to enjoy the heck out of this for sure. Any questions?
Ben Briner?
Shane, at least from up here, it looked like this was your offensive line's best game by a pretty good margin. What do you credit that to? And did you expect them to be able to come out and just be able to dominate the way they kind of did?
Yes. I mean, I know you guys think I'm crazy when I tell you that I see how we practice, and then sometimes it's frustrating the way we've played, and we haven't played good enough. But, every single person, we made a individual commitment to win your one-on-one battles, be physical, and then just compete. And that's what we've just talked about for 2 weeks, and what we talked about in the team meeting at the hotel last night, what we talked about in the team meeting at the hotel before we came to the stadium, and what we talked about in the locker room right before we took the field, is that there's just a bunch of one-on-one individual battles all over the field, every single play with the 22 guys out there, and that we needed to compete our butts off better than we have been and win those. And credit, Coach Satterfield and Coach Atkins and the rest of our offensive staff for putting together a great plan, and giving them, putting together a scheme that gives our guys a chance to be successful, and they did, and they played physical, and it was fun to watch them from that standpoint.
Ben Portnoy.
Shane, we've heard you talk about how, this is your dream job. You live for nights like this at South Carolina. When you're standing on the sideline, you're looking up at the scoreboard and you're seeing what's going on and what you guys are doing. What does that feel like in that moment? And, what are you feeling when you're seeing, guys racing into the end zone and hitting on big plays? And what does that feel like as a coach standing there along the sideline?
Proud, happy. I've told you guys before, and it may sound cheesy, but I love coaching these kids, and I'm just so hungry for them to have success because they work so hard. And they work so hard to do everything right on and off the field, and then to not be rewarded or to not play well out in Texas A&M or Tennessee or wherever, it stinks. And you look inward as what you can do better as a coach to give these kids a better chance to be successful, because they are giving you everything that we asked, and they committed to that, and it makes me very proud and fun. It's what this stadium is rocking on nights like this, and I remember days and nights like this when I was here as an assistant coach previously with Coach Spurrier, and what this place can be, and it's just it's a very proud moment for sure, just watching our guys compete and play with great energy and have fun.
Colin Taylor.
Yeah, Shane, you obviously mentioned the defense. What did you see from them, and how pleased are you with the effort and just kind of big plays from turnovers to third down that you saw? And do you plan on keeping the hat around for a little bit now that you won the game wearing it?
Yeah, I probably will. Thought we were going to get some rain, so I put the hat on for the rain coming, but it worked. I may have to keep it on for sure, whatever. Not that I'm superstitious or anything. But no, they were awesome. They disappointing. A couple of those big passes they hit on us early in the game. I mean, our guys knew we were going to make some plays. I mean, we were going to load the box, stop the run, and Florida was going to get some one-on-one opportunities, and they did. And it's disappointing because on a couple of those big plays, we should have been played a little bit better technique-wise, and should have been able to defend those two big passes early on better than what we did. But they controlled the line of scrimmage, and we put pressure on the quarterback. I'm not sure how many sacks we had, but we put pressure on him, and to hold that quarterback to 26 yards net rushing, it looks like, and not allow them to get that running game going was key, because that's a big physical offensive line they have, and they got talented tight ends, and they got receivers with size. So those guys played great. And when we talk about competitive plays, it's the same thing. It's Zach Pickens and Jabari Ellis winning their one-on-ones in there against Florida's offensive line. It's Cam Smith and Darius Rush and Marcellus Dial and our DBs, our corners, winning those one-on-ones against receivers, and Jalen Foster and RJ making one-on-one tackles. Thought we tackled well and created a huge turnover before the half. So those guys flew around and played really, really hard and had a lot of fun out there doing it.
David Kleniger.
Hey, Shane, what did you think of Jason's performance? And is it fair to say that, he's pretty much going to be your starting QB for the rest of the
season? Jason played his butt off. I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy this, David. I'm going to go home tonight and relax and watch the game on my iPad, and we'll evaluate after every game. But Jason was fantastic. First of all, Zeb was fantastic all week and on the headphones tonight, helping Jason throughout the game and talking to Sat and communicating from the sideline. So credit Zeb for the type of player and leader and young man he is. And Jason was Jason was awesome. You know, I mean, he protected the football. He showed his ability to run, got himself out of trouble a couple times, and got out of the pocket. And we just talked about it, and I told the team in the locker room. And so it's a great testament to what he's about, and it's a great example for all the kids in our program that he had every right to complain and be upset about him not playing early in the season, but all he did was just come to work and prepared every week to be the starting quarterback and prepared every week for his opportunity. And we told him after spring practice he needed to lose weight, and he did. You know, he spent a ton of time on his own this summer. Just if you looked out my window in the office at 5 p.m. on a summer afternoon when nobody was here, there's a pretty good chance he was out there on the practice field just running on his own, trying to lose weight. So he prepared for this night. We talked about it in our team meeting last night that, you know, it's his first start at Carolina, but he started 12 games previously at St. Francis. And then I looked up, credit Steve Fink and Michael for having this in our media guide, what Jason's stats were for his first start ever at St. Francis, and I think he threw for like 300 yards and was the conference player of the week and got a school record for passing yards for a guy in his first start. So we told the team that last night, and it was pretty cool to see their reaction. Now, did I know he was going to come in and we'd be able to run the ball this well and he'd throw play as well as he did? You know, I was optimistic, but the moment wasn't too big for him. I mean, he's coming up to me on the sideline throughout the game asking me if I'm good and is everything okay and all that, checking on me, and so I was. But that's just his mentality. Doesn't, you know, he stays pretty level-headed and even-keeled, and happy for him to have that success tonight.
Dick Cox?
Coach Spurrier was at the game tonight, though. Did you get a chance to actually talk with him? Did he offer any words of wisdom to you?
No, I saw him Thursday night after I finished my radio show. He was eating dinner with Jerry nearby, and I walked over to the radio, or after the radio show, I walked over and spent some time with him, and he was very complimentary of our football team on Thursday night, and talked about, you know, how hard our guys are playing, and was very complimentary, so it was great to see him. I saw him on the field before the game briefly, talked to Jerry for a few minutes, but didn't get to spend a lot of time with him tonight, but I did get to see him on Thursday. And I'm very thankful for him and the opportunity he gave me at Carolina back in 2007 and all he taught me and for the great times that we had here together, and appreciate that for sure.
Mike Yuba?
Hey, Shane, going back with Jason Brown, first question is, when did you let him know that he was going to be the guy? I know you guys like to try to keep things internally, but when did he know? Because obviously trying to prepare for that moment.
Yeah, probably a better question for him, to be honest with you. I don't know if I ever actually just flat out told him he was going to be the starter. I mean, I think he had a pretty good idea with the conversations that he has had with Sat all week. I mean, when Zeb got the surgery, we were optimistic that Zeb was going to, you know, get back and be able to potentially play, but Zeb obviously didn't practice the off week, and then he was limited where Jason just got all the reps, you know, this week in practice. So as far as an exact conversation or day, there really wasn't one. I mean, I think he kind of just understood that he was going to be the guy, and that's how we handled the reps this week, and he just took it and ran with it.
Corey Diaz?
And the only
Corey Diaz?
Hey Shane, during your opening statement, you said something that piqued my interest. You said tonight was about South Carolina. Can you just kind of expound a little bit more upon that? What you meant by that, and what do you think the message and/or statement was that this team made this evening?
It's a team that continues to get better and better, and loves each other, cares for one another. We talked about it before the game that we needed to be the closest, most connected team on the field tonight, and I think we were. It's a testament to them for how they just continue to work and just get better and put your head down and just go and not worry about what's being said on the outside. Just the people that in our building are what matter, and just continue to get better. We knew we had a good football team. I know we didn't look like it when we played out in Texas A&M 2 weeks ago, and it wasn't always pretty against Vandy, but you know, that was one thing Coach Spurrier did tell me, Dick, on Thursday night, was you guys are 4-4 and you've won a lot of close games, which is not easy to do in your first year, which I appreciated him saying that. And we have, you know, winning's hard. And I know everybody expects us to just, you know, the teams that you're supposed to beat them by a certain margin and all that. They got good players too, and winning is hard. So I think tonight was a great testament for our kids and how much they love each other and how much they love playing for each other and this staff. And when I say it was for South Carolina, it's a great night, for Gamecock Nation and for the Carolina fans across the state. There haven't been a lot of great moments like this over the last couple years, and just like our players were, I want them to have success. I want these fans that are so passionate for us to be able to celebrate and have nights like this as well. So just really happy for them, really happy for our players, and hopefully we got a lot more of these games coming like this as well.
Gene Sapikoff.
Shane,
Hold on, Gene, and we will if a lot of those recruits that were in that stadium tonight and the ones that are texting me on my phone, if they decide to come to Carolina, we'll have some even more fantastic nights than this. Sorry, Gene, go ahead.
Congratulations, Shane. I know you realize that you guys really struggled on first down in particular in College Station, and tonight you were particularly incredible on first down. I have you for 256 yards on 29 first down plays. You talked about the one-on-one battles and that. Was there any more strategical different emphasis in practice? What can you say about your success on first down?
Not really. I think it goes back a little bit to some of the self-scout stuff that we did, maybe trying to break some tendencies on first down, but not a ton. We started the game with that flea flicker, just trying to take a deep shot down the field, and that was a heck of a play by Jason on that one because that ball's supposed to be, thrown for a touchdown to, I think it was EJ or whoever we had in there, and Jason and Josh Van did a great job of connecting after that, but just trying to be more aggressive on first down, but it really is, Gene, as simple as just executing. I mean, I felt like we had some good first down calls against Texas A&M that we didn't execute for whatever reason, and we did tonight. But we knew it's no secret that we haven't gotten off to great starts in the first quarter. So I talked about it with Clayton and Sat, earlier this week. We always talk about how we're going to start the game and play the first quarter and openers and all that, but we really, really needed to have a great plan, to start the game on all three phases, and we did.
Joe Machika.
Hey, Coach. All four running backs seem to be producing tonight. What was clicking in the run game to allow all four guys to go off like that?
I think we did some good things schematically. Try to get into some certain formations and checking the run based on how they lined up and a couple of different options out of a couple of different formations. And our guys did a good job of handling that and executing it. But really, it just gets down to trying to be more physical up front and be the most physical group on the field, our physical player on the field, and our offensive line moved people and came off the ball with great physicality, and our running backs ran the ball hard with great physicality. I'm sitting here looking at it. Kevin averaged 8 yards, Zaquandre averaged 8.5, and Marshawn averaged right at 7. I mean, that's unbelievable because that's a good defense. And I know they've had some issues in a couple games running the football, but it's also the same defense that was held Georgia to basically 3 points throughout pretty much the entire first half last week. So credit our guys, and again, we've got to continue to get better. I mean, we haven't arrived, and we've got an 8-game body of work that we've built up to this point. And now the key for us is going to be to continue to get better and be better against Missouri next week than what we were tonight.
Last question goes to John Whittle.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the run game as well, but to expand on what you said, how much did just being successful running the ball help the entire offense, help Jason be a little bit better and take some pressure off of him?
Yeah, huge, because it slowed down their pass rush. I mean, they got some weapons that can rush the passer. I mean, guys that we wanted at Georgia, guys that we recruited at Oklahoma that were out there tonight. So they've got a good pass rush. And when you can run the football, that certainly slows that down. And then they brought some pressure, and our guys did a good job of picking it up for the most part. But certainly any time when you're able to run the ball for 284 yards, that's going to make it easy because it's going to open up more and more things in the passing game off of play action, which we hit Muse on that little pop pass down the middle. And I hope Lincoln's proud of me because that's a play we stole from him as well that we ran all the time at Oklahoma. So I hope he was watching. And then we got one-on-one opportunities, and you saw guys like Josh Van and those guys win those one-on-one opportunities on the outside as well because they're trying to load the box to stop the run. So we've got to continue to win those one-on-one battles. And again, a lot that we can be better at. Looking at it, doesn't look like we're very good on third downs. We got to be better there, but certainly really proud of our guys, the way we finished drives and the way we played, and like I said at the beginning of this thing, the way we competed. That's what I'm most proud of.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you guys. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.